Lux Occult is part of the Green Mushroom Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of the Lux Occult Podcast. This is, of course, the show where we gleefully taunt the mundane, butcher the Latin and most other languages, and we also discuss a variety of occult and esoteric and adjacent topics, exploring the intersections of magic, art, science, philosophy, technology, and so much more. This is occultism for everyone. I'm your host, Lux Estrada, and if you're hearing the sound of my voice right now, that means that this show, and magic for that matter, are for you if you want them. As always, I don't speak for anybody but myself. Others can, will, and should disagree sometimes with the things that I say. After all, how would we ever learn anything if we were all in agreement on all things at all times, after all? Unlike those who attempt to be reasonable should be willing to do, I often revise my opinions based on new evidence or new experiences. Alright, stoked to bring you this little mini episode. This is going to be the remote version of the green sphere ritual. This is something that I am going to be leading as this episode is released. So this is kind of a little add-on to the work that I'm going to be doing tonight as I record this. So I'll go ahead and read to you the outline for the green sphere Hypho-Hekatean working for protection and healing. You can also find a link to this in the show description for this mini-episode. Okay, about the green sphere remote version. This simple magical working is to be performed for the first time on Saturday, June 8th, 2024 at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, either solo or as a group. It's a companion to a Hekatean ceremony using the Green Mushroom Hypho Sigil Project's magical current for protection and healing for children and others who are in positions of vulnerability, which I, Lux Estrada, will lead at the Circle of the Sublime Elms in Orlando, Florida, USA. The intention of this operation is to raise a protective sphere of energy, which will then be released to propagate energies outwards. This version of the ceremony was developed as a means of allowing people to participate remotely, and can be performed by a practitioner of any experience level. Please adapt the steps as needed to make them more accessible to you, if need be. So the materials that you would need are a candle or source of flame. You can dress this if you want by adding the green mushroom Hypho sigil if you want to. You'll need these instructions, and your magical journal. So the instructions for this are to prepare for magic in your usual way, or take a few moments to center yourself and clear your mind. Read the statement of intent aloud. Recite Psalm 608. Read the green mushroom statement of resistance aloud. Light the candle and focus on the flame, imagining that a sphere of green light is beginning to emerge from it, growing larger and more powerful. Imagine the power of the sphere reaching a point of intensity which grows until it is about to burst. Release the energy of the green sphere outwards, imagining it traveling to where it is needed. Close the ceremony by expressing gratitude. Allow the candle to burn down or extinguish it as is appropriate for your situation. And note your experiences in your magical journal, or start one if you don't have one already. So I'm really looking forward to running this thing tonight. I've been constructing a pretty elaborate sacrificial object to burn as part of my preparatory work for this. It's a sort of like paper mache piece of fruit, and what I did was I cut up like old printouts of rituals and added spices and stuff to the paper mache paste and did a lot of extra things to kind of like make this thing extra special and extra holy. And I'm really looking forward to burning it at the peak of the ritual that I'm going to be running tonight. So gratitude to Justin and everybody who's going to be helping me tonight at the circle. It's going to be super cool being able to do this work in that beautiful space. So fuck yeah. I plan to make a little video with some of the pictures and stuff of the preparatory process and some pictures from the ritual tonight and everything. And if anybody has their own pictures of their version of the green sphere that they'd like to share, I would love to see them. You can reach me at luxoccultpod@gmail.com or at luxoccultpod on Instagram. All right, let's go ahead and get into this remote version of the ritual. The statement of intent. We will raise a growing sphere of protection to shelter those who stand within it, both in body and in intention, all those who participate in this working, and those they love. The sphere grows as we ask for protection for our communities at large. We operate from a mindset of abundance, allowing the power we raise tonight to travel wide and far, never losing its potency of protection or its healing strength. As the light of the moon returns to fullness, her light will shine down upon the earth, bringing with it the protection and healing powers we raise tonight, and allowing them to take effect where they are needed most. We ask that children, and those who may be particularly vulnerable due to shifting political tides or other factors which put them at higher risk, be sheltered from hatred and harm. We ask that those who are in need be given healing and resources they require, whether these be resources of the flesh, like good food and clean water, shelter and safety, access to health care and other necessities, or resources of the spirit, love and support from those who surround them, clarity of mind which will allow them to act in their own best interests, and understanding that they, themselves, are precious and worth protecting. We ask that pathways for peace be opened in small ways that lead to larger ones, until all within the green sphere are protected and healed. This is Psalm 608, written by me. Praise be to the lady who strides across the skies and dances with the waves, for she has lifted me up above my troubles. She has, with tenderness, shepherded me through the tribulations placed in my path by wickedness. She has broken the chains that hobbled my heart, freeing it to soar with gladness. She has written the symphony which resounds in my breast. Watchful and wise, our mother, who is in all realms, has set feasts of delicacies before me. I am nourished by her grace. I am sheltered by her mercy. I am humbled by her splendor. Hear the song my heart is singing to you, dear lady. I am grateful for your guidance. I am thankful for your light. May the melody of my devotion draw you nearer to me still, so that you would walk to me and beside me along the paths these chords key, delivering unto me the instruments of this exaltation. Lead the delights they offer to my door. Stand guard over the threshold of our house, mother. Open the path to your supplicants, your children. Close the way forever to wickedness. Let the circle of your safety be as a serpent which swallows its own tail. And now, the Green Mushroom Project Statement of Resistance. Resist. Resist by maintaining sovereignty of the self. Resist by maintaining love of the self. Resist by maintaining fierce loyalty to love and pleasure. Resist with acts of radical kindness. Focus on the path to better times. Fuck yeah. And now, we concentrate on the flame, imagining the green sphere forming around it, beginning to grow in strength and power and intensity, operating from a mindset of abundance. We know that lighting another's candle with ours does not make ours any less bright. The green sphere grows, and when the time is right, it is released. Gratitude. So we're doing this operation around the time of the new moon, with the idea that as the moon gets bigger, metaphorically, the strength of this operation will continue to build. Traditionally, the new moon is a great time for setting intentions and whatnot, where the full moon is considered a great time to do cleansing work because things are going to be getting smaller and darker, is a sort of like metaphorical thinking there. But there's a lot of different ways of thinking about this stuff and working with it. So however you're doing that is perfectly valid too. Well, if you ended up doing the green sphere, I would love to hear about your experiences with it or your thoughts surrounding protection or healing magic or anything along those lines. You can reach me at luxoccultpod@gmail.com or get me on Instagram at luxoccultpod. Thank you so much for listening to this bonus mini episode of the remote version of the green sphere Hypho-Hekatean working for healing and protection. I hope that whenever and wherever this finds you, you are doing well and not just surviving, but thriving. Thank you so much to everybody who's going to be helping me tonight. Thank you to Justin. Gratitude and hail Hekate. Thank you to the mushroom. Much love and much love to everybody participating in the Green Mushroom Hypho Sigil project, regardless of what that looks like for you and your practice. Shout out to Charlie and all of the Pocket Wizards. Really fucking stoked about what we've got going on concerning our planning for Void House and the discussions about the magical will and consent and all of it. I think it's really fucking cool and really powerful. I'm really fucking stoked. And deep gratitude to everyone who's been helping, whether seen or unseen. This is Lux Estrada, reminding you to stay strong and stay fucking curious. Cheers.
Lux Occult is part of the Green Mushroom Podcast Network.